karma as it presents itself to me. Because when the other person who has done you dirty sits in that same seat, karma is going to deal with them at their drop-off point, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
once I heard that and sat in at the seat of my soul and said, you know, you got to explain that to me. I mean, I got the words, but the explanation had to be the vibration behind it. The vibration of unconditional love, the vibration of infinite wisdom and understanding, the vibration of shifting, growing, and evolving through the change that's happening when karma comes back to you and says, I'm here again. What do you want me to do with this life? And then now that, okay, all the roof is blown off the motherfucker, as the song would say.
Come on.
Hello.
Come on.
Right?
And it blow it off. And that's what I love in the space of, like I said, in the face of eating in the presence of yourself. It's the inversion of the mirror, embracing the mirror, because it's inverted, you know. And so we in there thinking, yeah, look at me today. I'm so, want a piece of pie? Pie too sweet, you want a piece of meat. Meat too tough, you won't ride bus. Bus too full, won't ride my boo. You know, we in there getting it all in, but in this space, are we truly identifying with the inversion side of what is calling that to be in this mirror?
And as you say mirror, let's talk about your book. All right. And all I got to say, it's Gina, I give it to you. Take it away.
So in Time Down, Spirit had guided me. It's not even a book in reality, it's a journal. And so Spirit allowed me to put together a journal to help what I was going through. It's something that not just me, but I know that it's the awakening process and what it is to keep up with myself in this journey phase. You know, what am I going through? It's my highs. Am I moving? How am I? I have to document so I can see, oh man, yes, this is a part of some people lose the memory, right? The memory. And so in the space, if somebody else was to pick up your book, it's something to give somebody in vibration. Like, wow, you truly, you put this all down. If, you know, in your going, someone picks up your diary and goes, wow, this person really and they muster through everything. It's like an all tell book about yourself, you know. And so in a space, not to just write something that was because I used to write in diary form and so low dimensional, I had to learn to start writing ascensional. Yeah, I had to start teaching myself the ascensional writing, just like the ascensional speaking, like the language. It's not just in, oh, do you speak a different language? No, language is in the ladder of love. So how it's delivered, if the tongue is, it could be slick talking to you in a different code. It could be slick. You have to be able to discern that slick, what's going on in the code.
Like Pig Latin.
Yeah, yes.
Right? Is that what they used to? I think when I was little, I used to listen to my older sister and her friend speaking Pig Latin, so I wouldn't understand what they were saying, you know, and they'd be having a private conversation.
You'd be like, what the freaking and you'd be trying to break everything down. It's kind of like how people do now today. They speak in the IKYK, like if you know now you know, or whatever it is, like, you know, the new age generation speak like that now. They speak in little codes. And so as in our generation, we'd be sitting there like, what does YGLM, what languages they saying right now? We're trying to decode them like this, what they saying.
Right.
9 times out of 10, I'd be like, please don't talk to me in hashtag. That's too much work. That's too much work. My generation is not from hashtag. We from a different Morris.
Yeah. We're from the complete sentence with a period or an exclamation mark or a question mark. And the thing is, that's okay. The divine says, let that be so. And then those who want to speak in hashtags, let that be so. And those who don't want periods or any of those, let that be so. But it's really fun.
How do you want me to be able to communicate with you?
Yeah.
So I have to be able to express, I don't understand you. So for us to be able to communicate, I have to be able to communicate. I'm not understanding you. We're gonna have to get a translator in here. Hold on one second. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we get translator
Later
in
in here, right?
together so we can have that balance. But in the space, because and again, in typing, some things get miscoded. It's just words written black and white, and the black you see, you like, depending on what you're going through in the day, you're going to read that message and administer that message through your emotion. It has nothing to do with the way the person delivered it.
Right.
They might be having an abundant day and just keeping their boundary up, and you are taking it like, oh, you dismissing me? Oh, you, oh. Uh,
Yes. Oh, that's the whole thing. I really love, I'm not a typing I come from 40 years of being behind a computer and typing, and then to 40 years of being on the telephone as well, being I worked in the accounts receivable and collection department. So I had all those areas where I spent so much time that I wasn't, even though it seemed I wasn't a social person, I had to, even before I, this is how I know I was awakening without knowing that I was awakening. I would have those moments where I would have to untether from that energy, and just sometimes I wouldn't call people for days, right? I wouldn't think about the phone, or about uh, typing, or about writing. I would read books, or I would read to myself out loud. I would read actual words that were already written. And what I'm finding out now, that in this quote unquote new age, when people do a lot of icons that are hearts and stuff like that, I am more a, okay, I'm going to verbally say something, and I'll send you a verbal message. I like to hear myself talk. I like to hear myself talk about happy things, or I like, as opposed to writing them. I do feel that writing is somewhat, when you're having a conversation between two people, it's very impersonal.
It is. Again, it's expressed in what the person is going through themselves. So they have to take in and adjust. They have to read it to themselves, and then still they're taking it in, and then they're going to exhale whatever it is that they just ingested. And it had nothing to do with your text context, your context. It just had to do with what the emotional state that they were in at that time that might bring confusion. And that's why I tell people, don't write, just pick up the phone. And 9 times out of 10, like when we're even calling to talk to a bill collector, I don't know, talk to your bill people, you don't want to talk to the robot. The robot is not helping you none. They gonna keep spinning you around and spinning around, because they ain't got no emotion, no feeling, no nothing. They just like, and have a good day, hold on, we're gonna play you some music, and if you play me this song one more time, I ain't going up your elevator. Y'all play me. They don't put somebody on the phone. Let me talk to somebody in real life, in real time. And it don't matter if they come from, I don't care, China, India. Let me talk to somebody.
Right.
The
Right.
feeling of being able to go, look, oh, now I can express. I wrote you emails. Y'all don't understand me. You won't feel me. You don't hear me through the email. Now I got to use my chakra. I got to get both.
Yeah.
And I have to say, look here, can you hear me now? Because y'all reading that text and think somebody playing. So I'm not playing. Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what we have to put in order. So in the space that these people can sympathize, feel, understand, whatever it is, understand, overstand, they have to come to. And spirit will align you with the person to pick up the phone to be able to answer that.
That's what I was going to say. You be in alignment with the person who's going to have that conversation with you for your highest and greatest good.
Yeah.
Another said, I'm from technology, but was taught manual and prefer the rewards that come from doing things manually. Yeah, definitely.
Well, in the space of, we got conformed to, and it's okay, because creation of all things in a generation and the purposes that it serves. But do we want, again, when COVID happened, how many things went down that we were like, I needed this? Or if your Wi-Fi goes down, you like, I use everything Wi-Fi. What the heck? My house is smart, and it's smartly ran off of Wi-Fi. Can y'all stop playing? And so so become comfortable. They get you so aligned in this lifestyle of you're now demented to living. Not that we love technology, but for the intention that it doesn't run us, we run it.
Yeah.
It doesn't run us, we run it. We program it. It does not have to come in to deprogram us, code us, and bring in different vibrations. I started recently, a spirit gave me a new gift to be able to do readings through people's explore pages. Spirit woke me up early in the morning, was like, get up,
Mm-hmm.
start working. And I'm like, oh, what? You know how,
Yeah.
you know how it come down. No, we need to do this. Like you said with the podcast, it talks just like how it is. It's very demanding. It's very like instructional. And if you want to go against it, oops, upside your head. Didn't I tell you? You can,
More than oops upside your head. It's like this. Find me an open window so I can throw this goddamn computer out the window. Right?
oh, it'll happen. He'll do things like a spirit, just not him, mama too. They'll do things that'll make sure that your attention, because what you thought you was going to give all your attention, kind of like when your mama said, okay, turn the TV off, get in here, and it's time to start cleaning. And when she spin the block, you still feet kicked up, watching your cartoon. And I know everybody in this house know what day it is. And I know they heard me give the first alarm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My children used to say by the second time mom said something that she knew, they knew I meant business, and they knew that was the second time was the only clarion call they were going to get, because my voice changed, the octave changed. It wasn't a yell thing, it was an octave
A higher
change.
vibrate. It's so people, like I said, if people fearful of when father has to talk, mother talks like this. Oh, baby. Even when mom's mad, she has to come to it. Look, I'm upset, but look, you can't, and you can't, and and this is why. Once mother talked to father about it, father go, they did what? They tried what? No, they got me hooked up. This my house. Yeah, my house. In the order of my house. So now father comes in and mother's standing by like, don't go. So it just be a little mo. So soft my ass. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? So now father's standing down to deliver that thunder. It's a thunder slap. Like it's not that smacked you literally, but that voice that's so strong, it is a physical slap. Many women don't want their father getting over that certain tone. They're like, oh, daddy, I didn't what? It brings a different
Yeah.
vibration. When mom yells, it's still, we like, she yelling again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's a different thing. You don't want to hear daddy yell again. You don't. Mother, again, the grace and space of the mom and the womb connections, we have this. No, don't come on now, baby.
Right.
We're the softness of it all. We are the softness. And so now that all this spun around, this is why we're having this difficulty, because so many women are living in the masculinity form. Not saying that we're not of the duality of both, but living in the space of feeling like I have to regard so much survival, my provision, my protection. Yes, this is a form of creation, but it is also to be shared in this union, rather, no matter how the union look. And if the other form comes in, what are they operating in most? Are they more masculine? Are they more feminine? And so that this balance can structure itself out, and the polarity of it creates that perfect balance. And so
Right.
it's like, yes, you need to be like that in that order, and I need to be like this in this order, because now they know if it don't come from here, you better know what's gonna come from here.
Right. Right. And that's how my kids, my children, even from childhood on up, as they were growing up, they could they could interact with both the masculine energy and the feminine energy within me.
Mm-hmm.
They also knew that as a single mother, I was also in the role of their friend. And they knew that I could go from friend to parent, if you want to
Yes.
say, in a blink of an eye.
And my mom, I was birthed to my mother was 16 when she had me. So she always, now in our space, we have this beautiful love and grace over each other. She always say, thank you for help raising me, because in the truth of it all is what you know at 16.
This is true. What did I know at 2021? Zip, not a zilch.
So at 16, what you really know, you know? And so me coming up with her, yes, we had to teach each other. And so her acknowledging, like, you've given me a lot of lessons in life to have to learn. This is what mothers, like both of you said, these children come in to teach you different ways to be able to shape, shift, bend, you know, be able to express in different, because every child that you birth is not identical. They're not identical. Even twins are not identical. In they might have thoughts alike, they might want to do certain things alike, but that doesn't make them identical. They don't always want to wear the same clothes. They don't, you know what I mean, like, they don't want to wear the same haircut. That's not what they have their own expression of who they are. And so in that space, we always have to be able to nurture as mothers to all things, because if we can do it to our children, we can do it for all children, for the whole world, for the whole world. And me, I'm not a mother. I'm 42. I'm a stepmother. My daughter's 28. But in this space, what it is to be able to be, I'm a real mother. I'm a mother of many. I got godchildren falling out the chute. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't lacking no children. And I even tell people, because they understand the love that I give and I provide, my support, my energy. It's unspoken for. So they like, here, Gina, be a godmom, be my god. And I had to tell them, look, let me be a great auntie, or an auntie, the best auntie, because godmom a lot of responsibility. You know,
Yeah,
it is a
because you know what? It interacts with your wombs. I'll use this word because a lot of people use this word, but the divine says that that's not the vibration of that word. Womb space is much more intense than that. It's not just that space that the where the womb sits. It's the vibration of the energy of the womb that vibrates through every mm, every every mm, cell of every space that is within you and without of you and all around you, right? And motherhood is human have based motherhood off of the blood, but it's the vibration. Motherhood can even be men raising children by themselves because they're because the woman space has left, whether it be on death or whether they have walked away from the story, or whether it's two men loving each other so much that they want to give that love to the blessing of, it's not just a child, it's growth,
yes,
to the
yeah,
blessing of the growth that showed up in form.
yes, to nurture,
To nurture.
yes,
And that womb space is not within always. The womb is a form within the woman, yes, but the womb space is the vibrational essence that surrounds all.
yes, yes,
And that vibration of all is much more,
yes,
right?
it's gender. It isn't in that space. So in like children don't know boy, girl, white, black, yellow until you teach this to them.
Yes.
Until they ask the question of what's this? What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? What's this? And then now you're giving them you're you're giving them the lesson of what it looks like in in the ideology of it all. This is the
Right.
idea of it all. But now that we have become in a new order, in a new space, we are now learning to talk to our children in the other realm of what it looks like beyond the physical look of it all. There is this other look of it all, and it's nothing like this.
Right.
You know? And so I'm so excited, like I said, to even be in this day, in this era, to witness the new order come about. and watching so many it's the children are vibrating so hard that they're either not wanting to communicate, in different forms through what they would consider disorders, but it's not. They're coming in here to tell you that we not rocking with y'all like that. Y'all weird,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
not weird. Y'all been so under control and so used to control that when we do things that's not in control, you think we're off. No, you're off. And that's the whole thing to challenge even to the parent. You've been so controlled, and so they come to let you know, nah, I'm here to break your whole order of what you thought that was. You thought you could keep living in that order, but this child gonna recourse you to teach you that no, I have to open up and be different, because to love my child is in its wholeness. And no matter what it brings, like you said, a mother might have a child on death row. That doesn't stop her love of her child. She's
Right.
still her child. She chose different in different spaces, locations, and whatever his experiences he wanted to go through does not mean she does not love her creation.
And all we got to say about that is the unconditional love that the divine is and is not, through everything that it is and that it is not, through everything that it is creating and changing and growing and expanding as the divine, seeking itself in the form essence of us, is unconditional love. Because what we choose may not be for our highest good, but the divine says, nonetheless, it's your story. Let it be so.
Let it be so.
Right?
I be free.
Now, doesn't mean that if if an individual says, if a higher being comes and says, I want to see what it feels like to control, right? And other higher beings will say, I like, the divine always gives me this analogy. Other higher being says, okay, that means that you're going to have someone to control. Then you're going to have other higher beings that are going to be ones to break from the control, right? So we'll play, but understand that we're just playing. So if you go through some stuff, if you go through and things don't work out for the highest and greatest of that story that you want, remember, we were just there to play with you. And remember, we can opt out. So you create your being, or the body that you're going to be informed with or aligned with. We'll create ours. We'll show up when it's time to play our part.
Mm-hmm.
And some people show up and then opt out.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people opt out without giving you an explanation, right? And then we hold on to those people saying, you didn't explain anything, you left me blah blah blah, and we got all our labels for all of those things. I went through that earlier this year with not knowing anything, when somebody walked out of my life and just didn't say anything. And then of course we have to our ego tries to fill the gaps. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. But the thing is to know that our higher being, to know that we can go and sit at our higher being at the seat, asking, embodying question, especially if we're hurting, especially if we're talking about generational curses and all these things, and we've got all this kind of stuff on our shoulders in order for us to heal. Well, first I had to ask, what? I just went to my higher being, to the divine. What? and let me say it again. What? And then my higher being says, bring that tone back down. We're going to work on it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then start to understand. I always had the option to opt out. We've been told, first we've been told that we don't have any say in what goes on. Life is life, and it's shitting on us, and get used to it. Then, you walk into the spiritual community, and the spiritual community says, well, look, your soul is doing this, it made a contract, and you just got to do the contract. And then they give you all these little variables that you may be able to work around your soul contract. But when I sat there in my indignant state to the divine and went, what the fuck? Then the divine said, you do know that you could opt out. If you can opt out when the telephone company says you need to do this, this, and this, but if you go to page 29, there's an opt-out clause. We can opt out, but we don't have to go 29 pages. Oh, the opt-out is the change. We get to change. And I went, oh, because then I went, okay, like, okay, okay, I get it now.
I'm listening. I just had it on mute because my garbage man coming around and making his noise. Cleaning the streets. He's cleaning the streets. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
We're releasing it, getting it out here.
I'm all about the reprogramming and expanding on better. Yes, it is. You know what? We as a spiritual community, or even in the Christianity or other, the divine wants me to say, other vibrational realms of believing, we tend to want to feed information to people for what we perceive is their highest and greatest good. And the thing is, we've got to realize we don't know what's for the highest and greatest good of others. We know what we would perceive it might be. We know that we want them to know that there's poisons everywhere. But do we want for them to sit in fear, or do we want them to, if you're going to present something as devastating to them, are you going to permit show the answer and say, here, step into this vibration of a infinite possibility of an answer. It may not be the answer for them, and you may not be able to change it for them. You can change it for you, because you have power to opt out and change the story.
Absolutely. It comes down to, like you said, for the reprogrammers, the coders, battery. Okay. Those that have done the work and understand, they've encountered their harvests. So in the space, what they're trying to help in wholeness, they're trying to help others come into wholeness. Now, what it is we think that we have to stand by and help the watering, no, we give the seed, drop the seed and move on. You just give the seed, and what they do with it, you don't have to stand by and feel like they need to operate in the order that, spirit came through me. I used all that work to give. No, this is what you're here for. And you did what you had to do, for me, they work through me is like, don't get your ass smacked, because didn't I tell you what I told you to tell them? And so in that space, I'll be like, ooh, child, don't. And I hadn't had enough ass whooping. So guess what? We not taking no spiritual phase out here. No, I heard you. And now I have to sit with myself and minister. They'll give me the softness to deliver the message, to be able to deliver. Give them the seed. Just give them the seed. Here's the seed. Do what you will, but it's the seed. And from here, like I said, it might sound crazy, but it's all opinion till it comes to pass.
It's not crazy, because the divine had to work with me on that, because I was feeling very, what is the word? I was blaming myself. I was going, oh, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Something's not right, and it must be me. But what it was I was doing what I was called, but I was doing it in I wasn't listening to the instructions. The instructions, plant the seed, either I'll be called to help harvest or water or whatnot. But the thing was, planting the seed is just giving the inspired information, the motivational information, help edifying some information, and it all culminates in a seed that I don't need to plant for them. I was planting it for them, and then getting upset because they were kicking up the dirt. And then they would come back for more of the same thing,
I
right?
can't get more seeds.
Right. It's like, okay, if I put the seed in your hand, then even if you put the seed on the table, if you come back to me, you don't need to ask the question again. Now you just get to listen to more information, because here I am. I'm here to serve. Therefore, if I have a difficult person coming in that I'm serving, that the divine has actually kind of guided my way, then even if they're at their most messiest, let's put it that way, in their growth and expansion, they can come back and they can ask the same question. I get to decide how much of my energy I'm going to put in it. Why? Because I know they still have the seed. I gave it to them. I put it in their hand. They put it down somewhere. It's close by them. Now, when they're ready, they're going to take that. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's because I don't know. But that's why I let people be where they're at in their journey. They can't be me on their journey. And I just realized that.
This is true. I'm sorry, I had it on mute because of again, he's sweeping streets. And so I don't even know. I don't know. These things do what they want, how they want, when they want.
Yeah.
So,
I think if you do this in space, eventually, see, it shows up. And then if you do this.
At no point that I did this, and so they did what they wanted to do. Sandra, yours is on demand. Mine does not. Nope. Nope. Yeah.
It's weird. It started with an update that Instagram had, but hey,
Yes.
let them keep doing whatever their updates are. As long as that I have the opportunity to use the platform for the highest and greatest good of myself and those that I serve, they can do whatever they want.
Gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
Not my it's whoever created it in the source. And this is why I tell people too, intentionally, when you're coming in here, know the intentions when you're coming in to use the platforms. It's no different than when you're traveling into different lands. What are the intentions when you go into those spaces, Right. So if you're coming here, making sure that it's pure and all of it, so you don't have to have the argument or it's really not an argument with them, it's an argument with yourself. And this is why I think Spirit allowed me, because there was a live that I did where I was telling people they need to take a break from the gram because there's so much going on, and there was a chaos in the collective, and it wasn't just everyone wanted to blame Graham for so many things, but in reality, it was a lot of things people were harvesting into this space. And so what they do is just entertain and feed back into what it is that you like to. So you pulled up to the buffet line, and so now you're just like, oh, you like that, you pulling up, you putting on whatever it is on your plate that you like. And for me, Spirit allowed me to read through the explore pages to show people exactly how much they are showing you to a T what it is that you're ministering and how they're feeding you through this space. And so deep that it goes so deep into your life that you don't even think that explore page is saying that much about you, but that's how much they actually have inquired on you.
Right.
If they can't for the brain, they can definitely transfer the intelligence of the mind.
Yes, definitely. And the whole thing is, I was talking with a friend, and I said, you remember when they talked about the algorithm and how great it was going to be? And everybody got on board for that. Algorithm. I said, algorithm is another way to say story. So they and whoever they is, everybody put a name to it if you want. I just say they. Why? Because I am not going to get my page shut down. I am not. I've
Understand.
come here to
I got respect.
serve. Pardon?
She got respect. Sandra said she got respect. I'm a whole respect. Again, you're serving in the space that you're intending to serve in. Now, why do we know that? My thing is what can we know from it, and what do we know, and it's still, no matter, we still have to stay truthful if that's what our intention is, to use this space for truth and honor the essential value of who we are in this wholeness
Right.
for our collective sake. Then we also have to bear that truth, and sometimes it takes the risk of being hit, and that's why a lot of people are getting
Yes.
hit. Most times
Right.
they are allowing, the reason why numbers were going up is because our brothers and sisters started feuding with each other about their own indifferences with their self. And it's like, why are y'all in here arguing with your own opinion to yourself? Like,
Right.
no matter how much you scream to the heaven high, the person on the other side of the screen did not receive it. They did not receive it. And so you're just going back and back and back and forth. And so watching all of that happen is, again, like I said, it's a collection of the numbers are now being fed. The numbers is like, yeah,
Yeah.
now show them that this collective is going into that direction, and this is the direction. Because why? Personally, on your explore pages where people really don't want to show themselves, it'll show you exactly what else you're tethered to, past to what you're just masking yourself when you come into this collective. And so
Right.
that, I tell people, get cautious to the wind. A lot of people don't want that read. Why? Because it's going to reveal exactly who you are, where you're at this present time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a hard read, and algorithms just the mirror.
Right. It's just here's the algorithm. They tell you that all you want to do is scroll. That's all you got the time to do. All you want to be is somebody that's entertained. So you're only, if you can't entertain, if you can't be entertained in the first 30 seconds, move on. Okay. So what it does is it diverts you from wanting to be on anybody's page that is going to give you a chance to have wisdom, understanding, a time to have discernment, because they told you by the story called the algorithm that you don't have time for anything else if somebody isn't entertaining you.
Absolutely.
And I was talking to, with my friend about this, and she said, I never thought about it that way. I said, she says, but then again, she says, I grew up with you. I knew you would have an embodying thought about this, because I was always the one that would ask embodying questions and really rub people the wrong way. I
Not
did it
rub.
as a child, and I did it as as an adult. It's like, okay, they would ask me a question and I go, okay, but what if we said it this way, and ask another question, and they go, ooh, I hate when you get deep in there. It's like, well, I didn't get deep. I just asked you a deep question. Now you have to go and answer it for
Well,
yourself. I
that's
can't
that's
answer it for you.
frustrated because they know where they buried it at, or how deep it is. And so the
Right.
frustration is like, oh, you want me to go? And how long that comes out is how deep it is. You want me to go back there? I gotta go that, where I buried that at? Do you
Yeah.
know where you buried it at? Because go and get it.
Yeah.
And be easy and get it up out of there.
Yeah.
Like,
I
no, it's not for me to know. It's for you to know that you just got called, the veil just fell, and that you need to go pick up some bones. Do
yeah.
what you want with them. I don't care if you build a fence with it. I don't care what you do with it, but clean house. Clean house.
Actually, yeah. And I didn't come here purposely to oust you, or purposely to irritate you. I didn't come here purposely to trigger you, or maybe the higher being of me said, "Oh, it's time," because I'm playing in this arena with this higher being, and I'm, they just said, to my higher being, "Oh, you're up. Look at your script. You're up, right?" So this is possible. I might enter stage right and exit stage left, and go, oh, okay, am I done for this portion of the playground? It's totally possible, because I know people have come into my life, they've entered stage right, exit stage left, and open up some areas where, shit, I was triggered. But it used to be when we were growing up, or even we were being told that when people trigger you, it's them.
Yep.
Go blame
Yep.
them.
Yep.
We get to blame them. That takes us out of the playing, out of our field of having a discerning moment about ourselves.
It's the same thing with church and blame the devil. Blame the devil. Blame the devil. Blame the devil. Like
Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it. Woo!
Come on now. For one thing, we know two things for certain. The cartoon showed us as children the things on your shoulders, the choices that lived on your shoulders, these things that plagued you. And the devil can't make you do nothing. Neither can the other side. They can only come to give you choice. And
exactly.
It's the balance in the between is you to balance out what is going on in this space. Is this from this? And in reality, if I keep choosing more of this side, that it weighs out that other shit. That shit don't even matter. All that shit, no, it can't even play. So it's just all pure around here now. And so in that space, it just clears it all out. Now, do we know of it? Yes, because again, to know for you still grew from the murk. You came from the dirt. You came from the form of it. So to know it is to know of it. This is why the discernment, if you didn't know it, then what would be discernment for?
Right.
What would we be discerning if we didn't know it?
Right. Well, it's everything that we would ever need to, let's put it this way. The divine wants to be perfectly fair. Everything that we would ever need to judge or discern is already within us. All that happens is the layers start to remove themselves, or be removed by a higher being who's coming online and saying, let me go into my, and here we go, Akashic records. That Akashic record is an energetic note-taking that our higher being has for itself, so it can say, okay, what did I come here to do? What did I come here to feel? Right? 80% of that vibrational note-taking is for our higher being, and 20% of it is our generational information that our generational forefathers or foremothers put into us, little tidbits of us, and said, okay, this brings you forward to Sandy, your now moment of being born. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? Doesn't make it that I have to follow it to the T. It means that I came on the scene, and this is what my higher being is checking out. This is what my form body is checking out. This is what my conscious mind can tune in and tap into. All these little tidbits of stories that are in the subconsciousness of the design of my DNA.
Yes.
Right? It's all energetically written for me. It's how much do I want to go into it, right? And how deep do I want to go? Put it that way.
It's kind of like when people get into a relationship, get out of a relationship, get in a relationship, get out of a relationship, get in a relationship, get out of a relationship. Some people be like, take a break. You need to just chill. You need to, and to somebody, that might be a thing for them. Again, it could also just be the seed that you might have to just say, hey, have you ever thought about giving yourself a break? Just loving you, dating you, or whatever I had to do with me. But you know what I did with me? I dated me, and this is how I got to me, instead of, what you need to be doing. You know why you where you at. And this is the whole thing, because the whole thing is that knowing. It's like a child is like, yes, I know. Why you keep, it's like when you, yeah, I know. But if you know, then why did you know? If you knew.
Yep.
It's
exactly. And then you add another layer of that to that. Then when you start to sit at the seat of your soul and ask embodying questions, you get to ask your soul, are you done having an encounter with lack or envy or malice or jealousy or loneliness or feeling like a victim? Are you done with it? The reason why I'm here is if you're done with it, I'd like to change the story. Is that okay, please? Your higher being is going to say, yeah, I've been done with that for, I only wanted to feel it for a now moment, right? And it'll remind you that your form does have the choice. You do have to opt out. You can cancel the contract. We can change, right?
Absolutely.
But our higher being says, I can't usurp your free will. I can guide you to it, but if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to change, then I can't make you change. I can lead you to, like, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make that horse drink if they don't want to drink right then.
Literally.
Right?
Literally. Yes. And
yeah.
Yes. Yes. And that's even with your own children. I don't care. You birthed it, okay? And so in the space.
It's not just their children choosing me spiritually as their mother. I chose them spiritually as my children. Yeah. That's why when people say, knowing what you know now, if you had a time travel vehicle and traveled back to that time, what would you change? And I have people still saying to me with this answer, I wouldn't change anything. And they go, what? Because I did have lack, or I did have moments of feeling abandoned, or feeling naive. I had all those feelings, but I wouldn't change it because the children that I chose.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. The children that chose me as their mother chose me. I'm not going to change that. There was opportunity for change then in the past, and I didn't do that. I'm not going to take my now moment, go back into my past and try to change a vibration of a now moment that cannot change.
Yes.
And so they go, oh, that just went over the top of my head. I said, you know what? It went over the top of my head for a while until I stopped standing under it, and until I actually went into the understanding of it and realized about the vibration of now moments. And I still got a whole lot of shit to learn.
Every day.
Every day.
It's a lovely day every day, and the lessons to be learned. And in the space, I'm just even proud of the journey that for whatever journey you're on, it's to be proud of, because no matter what it is in the space, you're not a victim. And then again, we have to remember what creates the victim, and in the space of allowance and accountability, it scratches a lot of victims out of here, like victim is,
it does.
You're not a victim. A victim,
If you want to see, the thing is, if you want to be a victim, the divine is going to say, let it be so. Okay.
Oh, come back to you to show you a different form of victim. But in this, since you want to play victim in that space, you played victim, it'll show you victim, what victim lives like, feels like, walks like, talk like, you know what I'm saying? And so, yes, you have to go through the experiences. And that's why I said, even in no matter the language, it is the vibration of the release, because we speak life, we speak death. And so in a space, yes, you have to be cautious with who you're speaking to and how you're speaking at them. Just because your feelings might feel bothered or something does not mean that you have the right. Remember that power. You have power, but you don't have the right to curse them, because your feelings have not been set through, because you haven't sat down to observe or discern. And discernment would have had you already structure yourself, right? So now you have to get back to observe where you lacked your discernment at. This is where observation come back in. And so you sit back to observe, and then in it, you're preserving to come back to your original self, to your original state. What is the original state of me? So I can be in the balance of that, and not in these, the chaoses that I may have tethered to, because this is allowance and accountability. in the
Yes.
space, back to allowance and accountability. So with all things that I'm going through in this feeling experience, is beautiful, grand, whatever it is, it's what you're creating. And when people, oh, everything grand, great, yes, because it's my world, the world that I wake up to every day, it looked like that. And I'm sorry that when you close and wake up, that your day does not look as grand or bright. Or I'm not really sorry. I'm asking you to choose. I'm gonna
Right.
give you, say, hey, I'm gonna give you some seeds.
Yeah.
I'm only
And you get to choose.
only
Yeah.
asking that, with these seeds, that hey, you put some love into them, and I promise you they'll give you a full harvest.
Exactly. Yeah. And some people will say, well, how can you promise? Well, I can promise because the fullness of the divine there is fullness in me. So I know if the divine can give me fullness in me, I know that the divine wants to give fullness in you
Come on.
if you choose fullness for you,
Yes.
you know.
all
And
all alignment, because whether they take the seed to harvest it today, next year, 2 years from now, the
or
seeds with them. It's just
right.
going to take them to be ready to go ahead and live and be done with their way of experiencing what they want to experience, until they go, you know what, move in that closet. I had seeds this whole dang time. Get in this closet and get these seeds out of here and put them to work, so I can go ahead and show people that this harvest is real, and that I can actually be fruitful to not just myself, but to others. This is not just about me in this space. But yes, it's about you in the service of wholeness first. But what is the point of others?
Yeah, because it's about you of the it's about you of the wholeness, and then in service to the wholeness, right? And so when I do light language, and you notice sometimes it's not every day, it's when the divine calls it, and it's a light language call for earth consciousness and humanity. Because I said, oh, because I said, well, oh, I need to put the collective. The divine said that the collective is part of humanity. I have not left anyone out. Say it, and actually say it the way I want you to say it. Is that okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The divine gives me a free will. I can choose to write it, change the writing,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I choose to be in alignment,
Yes.
right?
I I don't want to take none of the magic out of it.
Oh, no,
I'm going to go in straight ordained order, because if I just take and tinge it and shorten whatever it is, I might just destroy some of the magic that was ultimate, the big bang of the magic. So it might be still magical, but not as it was supposed to be, because I went and said,
yeah, that's it.
nah, hand up and flow. I know I am. Hand
Right.
up, flow. I know
Hand up
I
and
am.
flow. Yes.
I am. And in this wholeness, and how do you know? Because by the fruits of my labor and by the fruits of my tree, you shall know. By the fruits of my harvest, you shall see. This is why people are to see, so they can go, well, wow, that person. I don't care what season it is. I don't care what season it is. They are so hard. They harvest every season, and
Yeah.
it's gonna agitate some people because they just can't harvest every season. And it's gonna,
Yeah.
but guess what? That doesn't stop the other person's harvest, because you sitting over there harvest. You just really, while you doing all that, this is why your harvest is short, because you
Hmm.
focused on why they harvest is so full.
Yeah. That's the first thing that one of the first things that I had to learn about my light language, about this gift, because I was basing it on how everybody else showed up for theirs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that could speak the light language and then interpret it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I had to learn that I just this is the lesson that I learned, is everybody's language is authentic to their higher being, their higher beingness,
Yes. Yes.
right? And I used to think, oh, maybe I'm broken because I wouldn't, because I did interpret, I did channel, but usually with the light language, it wasn't channeling, because what I found out was happening is the divine was talking or speaking vibrationally to the individual soul or higher being, and it was for their higher being to vibrationally break it down for them, if that's what they wanted to do. They had that opportunity. And then, I had to talk about sitting in vibrational quietness of me just actively listening, and getting to the point of allowing my higher being to take my ego and go sit in the seat, put that hand on my ego and say, look, little one, she has to learn. Right. And I mean, being that fly on the wall as the form conscious mind, being that fly, listening to my higher being have a lesson, or gifting a lesson to my ego, was like, this is a privileged moment. This is the moment that's etched in my recall. So it looks like we have done a 2-hour mark. Yes.
It was so powerful and productive. And again, I felt so much harvest, so many seeds, not just from us in this share. Again, I love to come to be an extension of harvest for others. This is what we're here for, to help others come into their wholeness. If they're feeling like they got a little misled or misguided or wherever it's at, a lot of us are here to stand down, to show ourselves that we're here to help you in this space. And the only thing that's really blocking you is you. Stop blocking you. We're here to help and love you through this space. I know Sister Sandra has shown nothing but love since I've come across her page. It's been nothing but love. And so in this space, I can't give anything but that back. I have wholeness of love for her and all that she is going to inquire. Sister, you are so amazing. And all the light language that you share, again, I wish that many would just sit with it. And like she said, you'll understand, things will resonate. It will resonate. You'll hear exactly what you need from what she is sharing. It will resonate, but take your time to listen. Truly, truly take your time. And we're rushing through meditation, through prayers, through rushing through things because we just know it's a part of our order. It's like, I got to eat breakfast in the morning. I got to pee. I got to this. It's not something to be rushed. You don't rush these processes. These processes are what gives you the grand opening to all the other things that you might not. Again, in the vision world, keep your vision so broad, so abundant, so open, because you can block yourself by saying, I just need and won't just need.
Yeah.
Those things can come so small and minute. And then when you get it, then what is it beyond that? Just keep it open to all things abundant for yourself, all things being in prosperity, protection, peace. Align yourself in all these things, and all these things shall be so.
Yes. You remember this, that the law of cause and effect, it's always in play. It's always listening. It's always vibrating. So whether you have a positive attitude or whether you have a negative attitude, the divine says, your wish is my command. So know this, that change is the one constant in the universe that the divine promises you. Even if you resist it, that which you resist shall persist. It's going to come back around. It's going to be your compass. It's going to be your Siri. It's going to be your what do you call that? GPS.
Absolutely.
And
it takes arms to go in different motions to get you through the race. So it's going to take a different pump from different places, but it's going to require a whole in its function. It might not look the same on either side, but those sides are working wholly to get you through that race.
Yes, absolutely. So from this beautiful energetic portal, that I'm sorry, I'm just listening to the divine. I'm letting the divine just energetic portal, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I close this energetic portal with 10845, 10845, 10845. Let all energy that entered this room for confusion, let it just flow to the no thing from which all things come from. That's the divine. I let the divine decide when to transform it, when to alchemate it, and when to set it out and release it to be put out there for more wisdom, more understanding, more growth, more expansion, more shifting, and more evolution. If it's so beeth the source to send it back to the receiver, let it be so. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you for joining us for this, such a blessed and wonderful seed of energy and wisdom. Thank you, Gina Jay. I hope you will either come back to Soul Conversations with Sandra for episode 8, episode 2, or join me on Soul Talk with Sandy. Either.
Yes, and 82, those are my numbers. So yeah, you spinning me right back. Yes, you called me back. You sanctioned me back. Yes, she called the numbers. My path number is 8.
Path number is 8.
And my birthday is 2/22/82. So you flushing it through. Yes, we'll be back. And we will be back just like that. And you guys make sure if you follow me, follow Sister Sandra. She is a beautiful spirit. And again, she is of love of all things. Okay. This is not you having to separate and feel like you got to be something. You ain't. Sandra loves you.
I love you. You could dance the jig, or you could shake your booty. It doesn't matter if you're awakening, or you're having the thought of awakening. If you're moving through Christianity and it doesn't quite sit right with you, but you don't know how to open yourself to spirituality, and you think that you have to change from being, walking away from family that you're not ready to walk away from. Spirituality, all it is having a relationship with the divine, allowing the divine to move in, through, and as you. And you don't have to make any of the changes that you are not ready to change. You just need to be open to that conversation between you and your higher being and the tetherment of the divine. And then everything else will vibrationally move you into where you need to be for your highest and greatest good. Just take a leap of faith. Mm-hmm. All right. So everyone, thank you for joining. Know that this is in replay. If you're coming in late to the party can still exist in replay. So it will be in Soul Awakening with Sandra, under Soul Conversations with Sandra, the podcast. My guest is Gina Jay. Her book is called, I love it, Embracing the Mirror. What do you see when you look back at you? There it is.
Yes, it's in Amazon. It's in my links if you guys are interested in picking up. It's a personal journal. Again, it's for you to discover you. It's not about me in this space. I'm not here to guide you, but here to allow you to see exactly what it is that you're going to discover in your journey.
Right.
Keeping up with yourself. Keeping up with yourself. Embrace yourself.
Embrace you. Even embrace you even at your most lowest moment. Because in that moment, there's growth.
Yeah.
There's expansion.
Yeah.
There's the shift. Yeah. And there's the evolution.
All
right. Yes. So everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. One love.
Love you, sister.
Love you too. Take care. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone.